Good morning, Oracles. Well, yesterday was another great day. We got confirmation that we were technically in a recession for the first half of the year. The market rallied and cheered after that, though, because we're now looking forward. We are looking forward, and a lot of the indicators we are getting are pointing us in a good direction that the economy is moving to where we want it to go to. We have a lot of guidance that is coming out of companies during their earnings saying they're being more optimistic about the second half of the year. We've talked about it before that we feel like the second half of the year is going to be much stronger. I mean, the last 6 months have just been a nightmare to deal with. So have we hit the bottom already with 620 for Tesla? We don't know. We'll see as the future goes forward. Nobody knows what that's going to bring. However, we've got a lot of great news that is coming out. And when it comes to the EV tax credits in the bill that is going to be passed to the Senate most likely next week, we have a gift that could keep on giving Tesla. Now, we've talked about it before. With the EV tax credits, Tesla does not need them at all. Tesla already has more demand than they can keep up with. So this is not needed. I'm saying I would rather have my tax dollars go towards something else, maybe just cutting the budget down or something. I don't know. A lot of other options out there, but this is the direction that it looks like we are moving, and Tesla can take advantage of this. And this is really just going to solidify the EV revolution taking over. And now I know Rob over at Tesla Daily was a bit upset by the fact that they changed the stipulations from 4 kilowatt hour batteries to 7 kilowatt hour batteries, which basically means that hybrids are also eligible for this. And he feels that it's just giving that crutch to ICE vehicles going forward. And, I agree with the same thing. It really shouldn't be eligible for them. However, we're coming very close to price parity on vehicles already. So the fact that even with hybrids, EVs are going to get this tax credit. So actual true internal combustion engine vehicles are definitely going to be going away. And yes, if we still have that crutch for hybrids, so be it in the meantime, but I have a feeling that's going to end up getting phased out as well when people understand the benefits of having just straight EVs. So the EV tax credits are going to go through 2032. Now, of course, any president can come in along the way and make alterations to this, but as of right now, if the bill passes, it's going to go through 2032. So that means that a lot of people are going to be incentivized to switch over to EVs over the next decade. So again, this is something we've talked about before is, the more competition that comes in, the better, because the more people who can produce EVs means that the more the EV revolution is going to take over. So now by having this EV tax credit as well, even more people are going to bring that demand over. So again, we go back to the fact that I've always been talking about all year long, whoever produces the most is going to win. Previously, the EV tax credit was capped at 200,000 vehicles sold. GM and Tesla had already eclipsed that. Toyota just passed it. That is going to get lifted, so everyone will be eligible for this again. So I'm about to go into the details about what we saw from it. I'll break it down in a brief summary. But moving forward, the fact that it's going to come down to whoever produces the most is going to be able to take advantage of this the most. And guess who's going to be producing the most? Tesla. Tesla already has a massive lead. They've already started their exponential curve. Yes, Legacy Auto may be selling more vehicles. Guess what? They're not EVs. So now Legacy Auto is going to be in a very tough spot because people are going to want to buy their EVs over their ICE vehicles because they could get an EV tax credit. So now Legacy Auto is going to have to say, well, we have to move up with our EVs even faster, but they can't. They just can't ramp that fast. They can ramp eventually, but think about how long it took Tesla, who both VW and Ford has said are moving at a pace that they can't even keep up with. So if the legacy automotive makers acknowledge the fact that Tesla is moving faster than they can, there's no way they're going to be able to catch them. Either way, everyone's going to be able to take advantage of this, but Tesla is going to really be able to take advantage of it because they already have more demand than they can handle right now. This is going to create demand to go up even higher, which is going to incentivize Tesla to push up production even faster. So we've got a Tesla bot who I follow his production and delivery numbers very closely. He is over on Twitter at a Tesla bot. Check him out over there because production is going to be key. Production's boring to follow for some people, but realistically, production is deliveries because the amount of vehicles that Tesla produces is the amount of vehicles they are going to deliver. There will be no difference in that for the foreseeable future. Now with the EV tax credit, that means that Tesla is almost guaranteed to sell every single vehicle that they make for the next 10 years. So let's break down some of the stats that go along with this EV tax credit. So it looks like this will be effective for any vehicles that are taken as delivery after December 31st, 2022. There are some very specific and unique situations where it can be retroactive to December 31st of 2021, but most people are not going to fall into that category. And so for me, that means that I am most likely going to be pushing mine until January to get it in 2023 to be eligible for this. And it looks like a lot of other people may end up doing the same thing, because why wouldn't you? Now looking forward is who is eligible for this. So any joint filers who make $300,000 or less will be eligible, or single filers who make less than $150,000 will also be eligible. Now that is for new vehicles. New vehicles will be $7,500 towards any SUV, van, or pickup that is under $80,000, any smaller vehicle like a sedan that is under $55,000, and any used vehicle can get $4,000 in credit up to $25,000 vehicles. Now when it comes to Teslas, as we know, their resale value is extremely high, so there's a good chance that nobody's going to be able to make any money on a used vehicle for a Tesla for, under $25,000, unless you've got an older Model 3 that maybe has some damage or something to it. But most likely you will not be able to get credit for a used vehicle on a Tesla, at least not yet. But don't forget, this bill does last for the next 10 years. And now some of the stipulations that are involved in this is it must be sold by a dealer. So it's not like you can go and sell a used vehicle to someone else. Must be bought through a dealer. Now I did have a question in the comments is that a dealership? No, totally different. Dealership and dealer are two different things. So it must come straight from the company itself. So dealerships would be involved in that, but it could be direct sales like Tesla. And one really nice piece of the bill was it incentivizes the country to be moving towards battery production itself. So the majority of the components must be made for the batteries in the US. And this percentage increases over the years, over the decade. And this also applies to battery recycling, which again, we go back to redwood materials and the fact that JB Strobel is over there running that. And we know that Tesla is going to be partnering with them heavily in the future. So this again locks up and guarantees that Tesla will qualify for this credit. So again, this is awesome, and I cannot wait till I can invest in redwood materials, but that's going to be a huge component going forward for all of the EV manufacturers, legacy auto, and startups to make sure that we are getting batteries and components here in the US to make sure that the jobs are moving up. And the next piece about this was huge for me. Initially, when the bill was coming out, it was going to be a rebate that you got when you filed your taxes. Now it's going to be a rebate that you get directly from the dealer. So this is now $7,500 off of the price of the vehicle versus a rebate that you can write off of your taxes. That's a massive difference right now. So now I'm contemplating, all right, do I put FSD on there? Because right now, Tesla is willing to give me $8,600 for my trade-in and $7,500 for this rebate. So that could pay for FSD. Or do I just knock at FSD and take that money and instead put it into Tesla stock? I don't know, I'll make that decision as we get closer to that time. For me, I think I'm gonna end up putting it into Tesla stock. I love FSD, but I'm gonna end up getting that into in my Cybertruck, and I'm gonna be getting it in my RoboVan when that comes out. So we'll see, got some time to decide on that one, but awesome to have these options. And the next massive piece that this is gonna be good for is the Tesla Semi. There's a $40,000 credit that you can get when it comes to any vehicles over 14,000 pounds. The Tesla Semi qualifies for that. So you will either get $40,000 back or you will get 30%, whichever price is the lowest. So that's going to be huge to move the Tesla Semi. We know that is going to be in the works for next year. We've already seen some prototypes going around out there. We see Frito-Lay has some of them. So again, this is going to be a huge component when it comes to trucking, and that's, probably lagging behind when it comes to retail vehicles, just because we haven't had that moving in that direction as quickly and as soon as the retail normal consumer vehicles are out there. So again, this is a huge component that can move forward when it comes to Tesla Semi and massive revenues coming in for them. And so now we've also been having some discussions of, well, if this does end up passing, does that mean that Tesla is going to be lowering the price of their vehicles? Well, here's the two sides of the thing. One, we know that Elon wants to bring the prices of the vehicles down as it is. We know that he said that when inflation comes down, they will be looking to bring the prices of their vehicles down also. The problem in doing so is demand is already so high. That's part of the reason why they're raising prices. They have been raising prices to, one, offset costs of all the materials that are coming in, and to kind of quell some of the demand that is out there. And Elon did tweet last night saying that inflation seems to be trending down and more of their suppliers have commodity prices also coming down. So perhaps this is Elon's way of hinting that vehicle prices might be coming down. However, if we get this EV tax credit going through, demand is going to go up even higher. So if they bring the price down any more, demand will just go up even more. They cannot keep up with production. So chances are what this is going to end up doing for Tesla is what we've talked about before, which is awesome. It is going to give them even more pricing power. Now, because of this EV tax credit, they have even more demand that's going to be coming in. They can bump up the price of their vehicles $7,500. And people are still going to be like, that's fine because I'm going to be getting all of that back anyway. Doesn't matter. Tesla's still going to sell every vehicle they make. Then as soon as production does start to catch up, because production will be growing exponentially, as that goes up, that gives Tesla the opportunity to drop prices down. So I can anticipate if this happens and demand does jump even higher for Tesla, as we are anticipating, Tesla will bring their prices up even more. And then as soon as production catches up, they will start dropping prices on their vehicles, similar to how we saw them going up on their prices over the last 2 years. So we can see every 6 weeks or so, Tesla dropping the prices of their vehicles $2,000, $3,000, because demand will still be there. And then when they do so, that could push off a little bit of the demand, because some people who want to buy will say, oh, Tesla's coming down on prices. I'm going to wait to place my order because I'm going to see when the prices come down. And at that point, Tesla's margins are going to be massive, maybe pushing over 40%. So they can then kind of monitor. Then they will have real control of demand at that point, because if demand comes down, all right, cool, well, we'll drop our prices some more and then we'll hold them and wait for demand to start picking back up, and then we can drop prices down a little bit more. It gives Tesla massive control over the demand with this coming through. And so I think this EV tax credit is going to be the gift that keeps on giving to Tesla, because it's going to give them so much control over their business. They already have control over production. They know where production is going in the future. So now they can just say, well, where's demand at? With the EV tax credit and all the pricing power that they have, inflation coming down, they can really see productions going up and move demand as they see fit to be able to literally control wherever they want margins to be on their vehicles. And so these next 3 to 5 years are going to be massive for Tesla when it comes to production. So for me, the one number I'm going to follow, and if you guys follow Rob Maurer over on Tesla Daily, he is always talking about production, and he's absolutely right, because production is going to be that key number. Is Tesla hitting their production numbers? Are they ramping up production exponentially? If they are moving in the exponential direction, that is all that matters. The more Tesla can produce, the more they're going to sell, the more they're going to run away from competition. And so again, this is not something that Tesla needs at all. Tesla was going to succeed and beat the competition regardless of whether they get this or not. This just gives Tesla even better opportunity to run away. It is going to give them so much more leverage and pricing power over everyone else that they can do whatever they want. They can dump a ton of money into production. So we will see how this plays out in the Senate over the next couple of weeks. We will see how it gets tweaked. We will see if it passes or not. And then next week, we've got the annual shareholder meeting. Vinny from Investment Club and I will be over there doing a live stream to go over that. Hopefully they give us some new product announcements, maybe giving us some more detail on production, any other information we can get about the future, maybe about the split that's coming up. Again, this second half is going to be the start of the exciting news and euphoria that we have seen in the past. We are going to get a lot of great information, product announcements, maybe we're going to get some new factory announcements coming out as well. And then next year we start to get the new products coming out with the Semi, the Cybertruck, the Roadster, Optimus possibly coming out. We've got AI Day 2 coming up on September 30th with Optimus prototype coming out and other announcements, which Elon has said that many people don't even know how far ahead they are. So lots and lots of exciting things going on in the future, and this EV tax credit is just going to give them so much more opportunity even though they don't need it. Let me know in the comments below, how do you guys feel about this EV tax credit? Do you think it's going to be great for Tesla? Do you think it's going to hurt Tesla because it's going to help competition? What do you guys think about it? What are the components of this bill that you guys are really looking forward to the most? And what do you think is really going to help Tesla the most? Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. We do have a Discord chat. That link is down in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, I do have a Patreon. That link is also in the description. Thank you so much. Have a great one.